Morning, folks. I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to give you a little dissertation on pinpointing. You know, a pinpointer is a great tool, but you got to open the hole first before a pinpointer is a tool. Can't do much without the hole opened. You can use a pick. Some use digging knives. Some use long handle shovels. Doesn't matter. You got to get the hole open first. If I'm in the woods, I use a GI shovel folded in a pick fashion. It's a great tool for cutting roots, chopping the roots. Here's one. Great example of one. You can adjust it straight out, or like I said, in a pick fashion, which most relic hunters use. There's plenty on the market, and most of them are just cheap imitations of GI shovels. You can find them on eBay, the real ones from 1943 through the 60s. And you're going to spend $30 to $50 on one, but boy, they last. Don't buy one of the cheap ones. It'll last 2 or 3 digs until you hit a rock, and then it'll break in half. There's essentially 4 ways to pinpoint. You can crisscross the target using your ears and eyes, using the depth reader on a VDI, the visual discrimination units, using a detector's audio oscillator if it's available. And lastly, my favorite and the most precise is called detuning the unit over the target. Okay, let's go over them one at a time. This is your common crisscross. I'm showing the top of the coil, but obviously below it. So, pretty much center, front of the coil. Okay, this is an older unit. If you can see the meter, it has depth reading on the bottom scale, just to show you if you have an older machine, you can use your depth reading. Alright, got a target, says a quarter, which it is. Okay, now I'm going to hold the trigger in. There's your depth. That's about 4 inches as it's indicating, if you can see it. So you can use a depth reader, but you got to remember one thing about depth reader. They're calibrated to coin size objects. So if it's a coin, it's going to be pretty precise. But if it's something like the size of a Civil War buckle, it says 6 inches, it's probably going to be 8 or 10 inches. And again, that's because of the size. Okay, as I said before, some of your depth readers have what they call an oscillator. When you're in depth and it has an oscillator, the higher the pitch, the closer to the center, as shown. Still a big area, you can see that. But that works also. Alright, lastly is my favorite and the most precise. It's called detuning. Now, if you have an old detector like this one, it has a toggle switch. This is an old White's 6000 DI Pro. Has a toggle switch. Let me get a little more audio here. Okay, very simple to detune. Got a target. It says a quarter. You're going to dig it. Once you decide you're going to dig it, hold the coil over the target while it's in the ground. Hit the trigger once. Keeping it at the same level, move it. Moving the coil shows a very small area for pinpointing. So you can do that with the older machines. Hang that back up. Let's use a MHT, one of the newer ones. You can do the same thing, but there's one little trick. You don't hit the trigger and let it go. You got to hit it a couple of times. And I'll show you. And then hold it on the 3rd time. Okay. Got your target. Gonna dig it. Hold it over it. Squeeze the trigger 2 times at least. And hold it on the 3rd one. That's pretty darn precise. Again, let me turn it up, give you a little more audio. Got your target. and make sure I got this adjusted right. Hopefully. Okay, hold it over the target, hit the trigger, squeeze the trigger twice, and hold it on the third one. Now I'm going to turn the depth up a little on this. So you got the target out here just to show you that it doesn't matter how deep it is. The idea is to keep the coil at the same height you squeeze the trigger at. Alright, there's a quarter. Let's say that's about 12 inches. Hold it over, squeeze the trigger a couple times, hold it on the last one. You can't get any more precise than that. Okay, just to show you, just because you got a computerized machine doesn't mean you can't detune. You absolutely can. Here's a White's MX Sport. I'm in the coin and jewelry mode. Got a target. What am I going to do? I'm going to put my finger on the pinpoint button. Don't press it yet. Okay, hold the coil approximately somewhere over the target. Hit the button once, hit it the second time, and hold it in the second time. Dead center. You notice it's about dead center is about right in front of the coil, or the attachment to the coil. Again, that'll work even at a further distance. Hit the button once, hit 2 or 3 times, doesn't matter, just hold it in the last one. Big target, same thing. Let's use here's a piece of a Civil War buckle. Okay, got a good foot there. Hold it over it. Push the button in 2 times, hold it. You can't get any more precise. The key is hold the coil at the point where you detuned. Don't lift it up or down. Okay, one last thing, if you're using a GI shovel like this, like I do in the chopping roots, great, in the woods, and you got a target and you've got it pinpointed, don't bring your shovel close to your pinpoint. Bring it about 8-10 inches. Chop out there. That way, because you're coming down at an angle, if you do it here, you're going to hit that sucker by the time you get down a few inches in the ground. I hope that helps, makes some sense. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe. Got any questions, just ask me after the video and I definitely will answer them. Thanks for watching.